The Nintendo Wii was a revolutionary console for Nintendo. Released in 2006, the Wii became one of the best-selling consoles of all time. Some of the best and well-known games on this system include Super Mario Galaxy 1, as well as its sequel Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mario Kart Wii, Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Oh yeah, I think there were some COD games on the Wii. Anyone remember those? Because I don't. These games and several others have given the Wii legendary status amongst gamers and non-gamers alike. Though we know of the Wii's success stories, there have been a lot of games that have been forgotten because of low production quality or how bad it is. The Wii had plenty of those. But what about the more obscure good Wii games that aren't as well known as the cult classics? There are quite a few good ones that the Wii has that I think deserve attention in their own ways. Today, I thought it would be fun to take a look at 3 Wii games that I enjoy that don't have as much of a legacy to them. These games are going to be in no particular order. I'm just going to be reviewing 3 Wii games that are relatively obscure that, in my opinion, are good enough to deserve more attention. So let's go over my opinion for 3 great obscure Wii games. Have you ever seen that show Wipeout? The show where people run across an obstacle course and fall in the water when they fail? Yeah, they made a video game based on that. In fact, there are quite a few games based on Wipeout, but today I will be going over Wipeout 3 for the Wii, as that's the only game I've played. I never really watched Wipeout much, but I wasn't surprised when I opened my birthday present years ago and saw this game staring at my face. Making a game where you can play Wipeout courses is a fun concept. As long as the game was executed well enough, this game was bound to be good. And was it good? Well, in my opinion, yes. It doesn't have the best graphics and the controls can be a little wonky at times, but that doesn't stop this game from being fun. It's an easy game to just pick up and play, and there isn't much of a story in this game either. The main campaign mode is going through the various themed Wipeout courses. The game has 12 level packs, each having 4 levels. Deck the Balls, Fast Food Fury, Wipeout Winter Games, which has hockey sticks with the German flag on them for some reason, Getting Schooled, Classic Wipeout, Love Hurts, Terrible Tiki Trouble, Wild West Wipeout, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yeti, Disenchanted Forest, Super Ballsy Brothers, an obvious play on words of Super Mario Bros., and Crash of the Titans. Each of these packs contain fun levels to go through that will test your skills on Wipeout. The gameplay is pretty much what you'd expect. You move on the path and jump, crouch, or slide to get past various obstacles, such as mud raining over you, ropes you hold onto, and the classic red bouncy balls Wipeout is known for. This game is actually pretty funny as well. There's plenty of dialogue to keep you entertained throughout the game.
I'm gonna use that prize money to pay my electrical bill.
Wipeout 3 hasn't aged the best, though that doesn't deter from the fun you can have playing this game. This game is very nostalgic for me, and even today, I would recommend this game to anyone who loves platformers.
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Step right up and welcome to Carnival Games! Test your skill and win a prize or compete with a friend to see who's the best. Tons of fun and excitement await all who enter!
Despite being the most mundane title for a video game, this game explodes with personality. Carnival Games is, believe it or not, a game about playing carnival games. I know, crazy, right? There really isn't a story mode to this game. Instead, you just play various mini-games that you would find at a typical carnival. This game has a lot of replayability, so you'll never find yourself being bored of this game. In this game, you can customize your own character to however you like, and you can go to 5 themed areas, each with quite a few games to play. Fortune Way includes games such as Alley Ball and Basketball. Claw Alley has games like Mini Golf and Clown Splash. Love Lane contains games including Balloon Darts and my personal favorite, Boulder Coaster. Lucky Pass has games such as Dunk Tank and Day at the Races. And finally, Rodent Row, which contains games like Shooting Gallery and Shoot for the Stars. Every single area has really fun mini-games that I could play all day. This game is surprisingly difficult, and you'll find yourself spending a lot of time to get better at all these games. The better you perform, the bigger prize you can receive, which can include props or clothing to customize your character with. In each area, there is also a game you can use tickets for, which you get for winning games. These include the coin launcher and the claw machine. This game can keep you occupied for hours, and I would totally recommend buying this, even in 2020. And yes, there is a remake for the Nintendo Switch, but I have never played it myself. I'm sure it's a good enough game though. Regardless, this game still holds up very well and is deserving to be in anybody's collection. Last but definitely not least, we have SpongeBob's Boating Bash, my favorite out of the three. When I played this game to get the gameplay for this video, I couldn't stop myself from playing it afterwards. It's so dang addicting. I think this game is the most obscure of the three games in this video. I have a hard time finding many videos on this game, and it wasn't until a year or two ago that I could find the soundtrack for this game on YouTube. Despite that, this game deserves far more attention. SpongeBob's Boating Bash is all about SpongeBob trying to obtain his driver's license. The story in this game is called Drive, an acronym for the modes this game has. D is for Destruction, where you crash into people and collect their car parts. R is for Recklessness, which is destruction, but instead of collecting car parts, you crash into people to collect points. I is for Impairment, where you try to knock out everybody on the course. V is for Velocity, which is this game's racing mode. And E is for Escape, where you try and avoid getting hit by everybody else, while trying to knock them out in the process. The plot in the story mode is that SpongeBob fails his driving test with Mrs. Puff for the 78th time.
You can always take it again.
It was my 78th time! Don't floor it!
Why, SpongeBob? Why?
So did I pass this time, Mrs. Puff?
And you can't take it again until next year. A shark named Seymour Scales comes up to SpongeBob, offering to teach SpongeBob to drive with his Learn to Drive system.
Yes, sir. With my Learn to Drive system, I can teach anyone to drive in only 5 short classes. Drive is a very simple system that teaches the 5 key things that every driver should know: destruction, recklessness, impairment, velocity, and escape.
SpongeBob accepts and is under Seymour's teachings. From that point, you complete objectives in each of the 5 mentioned letters. Throughout the story, many of SpongeBob's friends join him, including Patrick, Squidward, Sandy, Plankton, Mr. Krabs, and even Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Darn kids.
Mrs. Puff has other plans, however. She wants to stop SpongeBob from being taught by someone else, because she'll be ruined or something. I don't really know.
I can't let this happen. I'll be ruined. Ruined!
Once SpongeBob passes the class and receives his license, it is revealed by Mrs. Puff, who just shows up, that his license isn't real.
But I'm afraid it's not real.
Seymour is then revealed to be a fraud.
You can't catch me! So long, sucker!
You chase him down before he gets away, and Seymour doesn't seem to learn his lesson.
I would have pulled it off too if it wasn't for Mrs. Puff's meddling around.
It ends with SpongeBob being happy that he can learn through Mrs. Puff again. Apart from the story mode, you can also play each of the modes with your own rules. They are all a blast, but Velocity is probably my favorite, which actually has its own courses, unlike every other mode, which all have the same courses. This game is also pretty funny too. The dialogue in this game never fails to make me smile.
SpongeBob, prepare for a long, merciless whooping!
I'm with the squirrel.
Also, an interesting gimmick is that there are several boats to choose from, each put into a category based on the type of boat, as well as 8 characters to choose from, including Seymour, so I guess he's good now? Also a game changer is that your boat can take damage, and if you take enough damage, your engine will stop. It gives you an incentive to be more careful, and changes the gameplay a lot, even in Velocity, because if you wreck, you're done racing. It doesn't look the best graphically, and the controls can be hard to deal with sometimes because of the use of motion controls, but it makes up for it with everything else. If you could only get one of these games, I would go with this one. This is probably my favorite SpongeBob video game I've ever played, and you won't regret picking up this game and popping it into your Wii or Wii U. Hopefully you learned a thing or two today, and maybe this video gave you a game to put on your wish list. I'm sure these games don't cost that much these days, and you can order them online easily. Are there any other relatively obscure Wii games you enjoy? Feel free to mention in the comments as I will be reading all of them. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.